We are about to celebrate our 100th episode, and we want you there. Media Litter Sandwich, we are recording our 100th episode on July 21st, 2018 at Falling Down Beer Company in Warren, Michigan. The event starts around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's free. So come down, hang out. If you need more details, check out the website at MediaLitterSandwich.com. And if you want to help out, email us at podcast@MediaLitterSandwich.com.
Today on Media Litter Sandwich, we're at the Downriver Comic Con. Hey man, how you doing? And we talked to these guys. They're artists, they do a comic book, they have a podcast, they do skits, they're getting ready to do some other stuff. And they're the three wise men. That's the letter Y, not W-I-S-E. Welcome to Media Litter Sandwich. We're here at Downriver Comic Con in Lincoln Park, Michigan, in the Lincoln Park High School. If you never heard of that school before, just rewind a couple years on your MTV, and you might see a reality show based on a really bad football team. Usually that's not important, but considering this Comic-Con is supporting their athletic department, I think that's all you need to know. With me, I have two people with me. I thought there were supposed to be three. What's the name of your company again?
Three Wise Men Media.
Okay, so I always ask why after that.
Well, because we have Wise in our names. And there was three of us.
Yeah, so
three Wise Men.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Tyler, and then the third one is Dylan.
Okay, and Dylan's, of course, manning the booth.
Manning the booth, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so what do the three wise men do?
Well, right now we're pushing a comic book that the three of us wrote, Motor City Mo. We wrote it. We had an artist that we met, Ryan Tavares, did the art, and we have another artist did the colors, and my wife did the letters. We're also doing some YouTube stuff. That's a new YouTube series that we have out right now. So we're pushing the YouTubes, we're pushing comics, and...
I think if you were going to sum it up, you'd say we consume pop culture, make pop culture.
Yeah, or what we say is all the pop culture, we just pick it up and put it on a sandwich and eat it.
There you go.
Media Litter Sandwich.
There you go.
Yeah.
And if you're new to the show, you can subscribe to Media Litter Sandwich on YouTube on Toaden K, or just go to MediaLitterSandwich.com. And also, I don't know if any of you guys are veterans, but the show is now syndicated on DV Radio.
Oh,
cool.
So we love all those veterans down there, and we are in the chat room when it premieres on DV Radio on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time Zone.
Cool.
I had to make sure I put that out there.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
That's important.
That's awesome.
So what's the main, so you talk about pop culture and you have a comic book. What's the main thing that you're doing right now?
Right now, we're pushing Motor City Mo.
Yeah.
We got it. We finished it. We had a Kickstarter campaign last year. We finished it, got it printed in February, and these past several months, we've been taking it to Comic Cons and just selling it and putting it in comic book stores in our area. And we have another Kickstarter campaign coming up in September for Book 2. So we have Book 1 out. We've been selling it, and now we have our eye on Book 2 to get that done.
Now, are you doing a Kickstarter for Book 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hopefully going to be September 30th.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, we've done the first book has done pretty well. I think it surpassed some of our expectations.
Right.
So yeah, it looks like Book 2. We're pretty excited to be able to get that out soon.
Right, and if we could just do a little bit of a backstory on Motor City Mo, the comic.
Absolutely.
If you could picture like Deadpool or Wolverine, our main character Mo has that same sort of healing ability, but he's kind of an alcoholic. He's down on his luck. He's made a lot of bad choices in his life. He's in deep with some criminal types, and he's trying to get out of that life. And that's through Book 1. We take him through that situation, and hopefully he gets out of that. Hopefully, no spoilers.
Yeah.
And then in Book 2, as Tyler mentioned, we have our Kickstarter September 30th, and we continue the story from where we leave it off.
And since it's called Motor City is in the name,
right.
I assume it takes place in Detroit, or are we doing the
Royal Oak, Novi,
So-
Romulus thing.
Well, we're not from those areas, so we didn't really include like those areas, but it's Detroit. It's even a little bit downriver. I mean, there's a reference to a pretty. I mean, if you're from downriver, there's a reference to an area that you might have frequented when you were a teenager, I think. Playing a little putt-putt. There's a little reference there for people from down here.
Yeah.
I just figured you meant Bishop Park.
No.
I can't watch Judge Judy more than like 2 episodes or like 4 episodes without somebody mentioning Bishop Park. I swear you'll never look at that show the same way again. Start a drinking game every time Bishop Park is mentioned.
Ooh.
All right.
Good to know.
Yeah. But yeah, Motor City Mud, it takes place in Detroit primarily, like Tyler said. And we reference like Flint and other areas too. We wanted it to be like a Michigan-based comic. We're a Michigan-based company, obviously, 'cause that's where we live. So we really wanted to have that feel.
And that's important to us too, is, let people know how great this state is. Can be. Maybe we should say that.
A lot of changes have been happening, a lot
Yeah.
of positive things, a lot of things downtown Detroit. I say it over and over and over again. If you look at downtown Detroit 7 years ago and look at it today, they don't look the same at all.
For sure.
I mean, I remember doing 48-hour contests where I had to go down to Campus Martius, and parking was super easy. Everything was really easy to get in there. There was a few people walking around, but there wasn't like a ton of people trying to get inside of our shops or nothing.
Right.
Good luck doing what we were doing then today.
Right.
No, the parking's tougher, and there's a ton of people down there, but it's all good stuff. They're all good reasons for that.
Good problems to have.
Yes. At least that's what we're going to keep saying.
At least, right. This hair is just, I mean, I have a mohawk too a little bit here, but I mean, yours is just magnificent.
Yeah, but you also didn't have to ask special permission to go to the boys' locker room in order to use a mirror and an outlet because it's too tall for me to drive in the car with.
That's right. I don't have to deal with that. What do you use? What do you use to make that thing stand up?
I use Got To Be hairspray and a hair dryer, and I throw some pomade on it as well.
That's it?
Yep, that's
I've
it.
heard of people that use glue.
Yep, this
Actual
isn't the
glue?
80s.
Elmer's glue.
This isn't the 80s no more. You don't need to use Elmer's glue. There's no reason to put food product in your hair anymore. Or Mop and Glow. Yeah, I think those were the main ones I've heard. Egg whites, Elmer's glue, and Mop and Glow.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, there's a weird, like, elite sense of people that still use it, and they call themselves crispy punks. And there's like a weird elitism with that. Like, you're not a crispy punk, you're not authentic. Well, first off, if you feel like there's an elitism in punk, you're not really a punk.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
That's just the way it is. Sure, everyone's a punk. Blink-182, you could be punk. Same thing with Jonas Brothers. You guys could be punk. Whatever, it's cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced, like, so you're going to all these cons.
Right.
Yeah.
You're now you're breaking into YouTube, even though YouTube is lately. Have you ever experienced that when you're trying to promote your comic? Because somehow you got into a bunch of comic book stores.
Right. Have we experienced what?
Like elitism, or you guys are, like these guys over here.
We really haven't. We've gotten pretty overwhelmingly warm and supportive. It's been pretty great, which is good because I mean we're fans of like comic book culture and comic book characters, but we aren't overt. Personally, I haven't read that many comic books like your typical comic book creator or fan. So that's something that I worry about is a typical comic book fan coming over and like getting all up in my face and shit. But like it hasn't happened. It's been pretty good so far.
You never read Giant X-Men number whatever?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, me and my brother have read quite a few, so I think we have him covered in that regard. And plus, I mean, like he said though, we it seems like everybody's here just being a fan of what they're a fan of. So we haven't really run into anybody who any elitism or anything like that. Granted, this was our first year, and maybe behind our backs that's a different story. But I'd even told Kyle, I was like, we've all got jobs, we all do other things. I'm like, having to trot around every weekend to a different Comic-Con is gonna, is that gonna be a hassle?
And you guys
really
been hitting
hasn't.
a lot of Comic-Cons.
We have, but it hasn't been it's been great. I mean, even people that stop by the booth, not even to buy the book, but just talk for a little bit about what they're a fan of. that's a lot of fun. So these have been great for me.
How hard was it to get into comic book stores?
It's been difficult. I mean, you got to hit the pavement. I mean,
right.
Like Kyle, we've been lucky with his work. He's able to travel, so we've been able to get into some different cities that maybe we wouldn't have been into. But I mean, and plus it's just weird being a comic book creator because you're not Marvel, you're not Image, and you're like, hey, will you take a chance on this little book that I made? And
do you have an indie local comics shelf that you can even put me on?
Exactly.
Well, that's usually the question, right?
Pretty much, because you don't typically know, I didn't know what questions to ask or how to approach it. But the comic book store owners have been very accepting. We haven't gotten rejected by anybody. So that's been good. I mean, we're out in Flint, we're in Ypsilanti, primarily in our local Downriver area, but those are the two farthest stores that we're in.
And just for those that have no geographical sense of
right.
Michigan, Flint and Ypsilanti, nowhere near Downriver.
Yes.
Those are all three very separate areas.
Right.
Yeah. And Ann Arbor.
Ypsi Ann Arbor is the same.
Okay.
Is one
Yeah,
store.
those are the same.
Very close, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's been cool to even just get the book in the stores, and we've learned a lot too from the comic book shop owners. Saying next time we would like to see a price on the book, because that was something that we just took for granted. We didn't even think of that. So having just getting a lot of pointers from everybody, it's just been wonderful.
So the Kickstarter, how did you make that successful?
Well, we did a lot of research. One key point that I read was that you shouldn't launch a Kickstarter, or 6 months prior to your launch, I should say, you should be advertising. And that's what we did. 6 months before our launch date, we were just advertising on our social media, talking to people about it, messaging people, and we were just persistent.
Yep.
And we really worked. We had the breakdown of who donated, and I think maybe, I don't know if it was 50%. It was definitely in the 30s of people that we had never met. They were complete strangers. So we really got the message out, and it was just like with everything, it's persistence and just doing it, grinding pretty much.
And it's really easy to see the finished product and be like, oh, I could never do that. But if you work hard, and Kyle, he's definitely the one working probably the hardest of the three wise men. But just that persistence, that's how you do anything, right? Your show here, you didn't get all this equipment just because one day you were like, well, this is what we're going to do. You have to work at it. You go to the cons, you interview people, and that's how we did the Kickstarter. That's how we did the book. You just got to grind away at it.
Yeah.
Now, there's something I've been curious about Kickstarters. If you don't have a good answer, that's fine. This is an opinionated thing. I notice a lot of Kickstarters, they do episode 1 on Kickstarter, then they do episode 2, and then it's 3 years later, and every issue or event or whatever, because this also applies to events.
Right.
They do a Kickstarter for every single one. At what point do you consider yourself successful to the point where you don't need that Kickstarter, where you're no longer asking people for money to fund the next thing?
That's a fair question, and we had hoped we would only have to do one Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were really kind of trying to see how well it would sell this year and this summer. But I mean, just our operating costs with going to Comic Cons, with buying equipment for YouTube and things like that. Just print. We had to reprint. We didn't expect to have to do that, So I would hope that this would be our last one.
Yeah.
But we're not going to make that guarantee because we don't know.
Right.
We don't know what our costs are going to be next year.
And plus, too, it's almost like for people who actually are fans of the book and want to get episode 2, even if we did, like he said, hopefully this is the last Kickstarter, but it's almost like you're pre-ordering. You know what I mean?
And I've heard fans say that they really like Kickstarters because then they're a part of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is you almost build up a community that where people are a fan of this thing and they want to contribute to it, and then you get some goodies that you're not going to get if you just go buy it in the store as well. So I think Kickstarters is basically a form of social media in that regard. Is that you probably want to be a little bit self-sufficient, but at the same time, I think that makes your fan base maybe even a little bit more
energized,
because they're it's like donating to a political campaign, right? It's you're a part of this. You helped this become a thing,
right?
Because you donated to it. So but it's a good question.
you're also doing YouTube things.
Yes.
And you're talking about pop culture.
Right.
Can you give us an example? Like, how are you talking from a fan point of view, or are you talking from a creator point of view?
Well, I would think both. I mean, we kind of think of it in the same way. We're fans, but we take our fandom and our knowledge of being fans and try to turn that into creating pop culture.
And to make it entertaining, too.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what we've been doing, well, Tyler's a pro wrestler.
Yes.
And he's wearing his elk shirt right now. That's his character. He's a caveman. So we've been making videos centered around pro wrestling and hyping up his upcoming wrestling events. And that's been one of our areas of focus. The other thing we've been doing is movie reviews. And when we started doing them, we set out, like, how are we going to make these different? What are we going to do that's not just a normal movie review? So we decided to take a movie, every like upcoming new movie that comes out, Solo, Avengers, whatever, and try to figure out whether or not these movies are better than Space Jam. So each movie, that's the bit. Is it better than Space Jam?
Yeah.
And our other Wiseman that's not here, Dylan, he plays Alistair Dillon, and he's the scholarly character who has PhDs in space and basketball fundamentals with a minor in film history. And he goes through bit by bit and compares these movies to Space Jam, and he finds out, is it better than Space Jam?
So on the meter between 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, whatever meter you want to put out there,
right,
where does Space Jam figure? Is that like that perfect middle ground movie?
Well, see,
it's the yardstick.
It's just the yardstick, yeah.
It's the measuring stick.
We never really specify whether or not Space Jam is a good movie. It's just the movie we measure all movies to.
Right. Is it better?
Yeah. And that's the bit.
I'd love to hear one comparing Eyes Wide Shut to Space Jam.
That's a great idea.
That's a great idea, yeah.
That'll be my request.
Yep.
Because we've done those two new releases, and we've done Rocky, and we just recorded It from last year.
80s or the
new one?
New one.
2017. Okay. So that one's going to be coming out in a week or two.
But yeah, we want to have like classic movies or Eyes Wide Shut.
Right.
I think that's a great suggestion.
It's considered a cult classic.
I think so.
Because there's people out there who really, really enjoy it.
People who enjoy the sex cult.
And then there's people like me that saw it in middle school, high school, and walked out to the theater and just went back to South Park and watched that instead, which was just down the hall. We snuck into one, and then we're like, this sucks, we're going to go sneak back into South Park.
There you go.
So yeah, you can see Is It Better Than Space Jam on our YouTube channel.
Yep.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay, so the YouTube channel's not Three Wise Men.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. The YouTube channel is Three Wise Men Media, but the show is It Better Than Space Jam?
Fantastic. I wish I had my paper in front of me telling me what else I have to promote. I know I have to promote Turtle Trinkets, which is which is down over there.
Our neighbors.
Yep, Dave Herndon.
Yep.
You guys see anything at his booth that you guys wanted?
Oh, there's always stuff that you want at Turtles Trinkets over there. Kyle's a big Lego fan. He's got all the Lego, the little dinosaurs, little raptors from Jurassic Park. Mm-hmm. He's always got something over there.
Yep, go check out his Facebook, Turtle Trinkets. He does not have an online store, and so I keep telling people complain about that. But if you do see something on it that you want, shoot him a message. You can probably work something out.
Probably.
Especially great for kids that want a little memorabilia from something. He probably has something they'll like for a lot cheaper than what you'll get at Toys R Us isn't anymore, so Walmart, I guess.
And plus, do you really want to give Walmart your money when you could give it to Dave?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I guess, does that mean my time's up?
Oh.
So you mentioned traveling. You mentioned that you're the one that's traveling a lot.
Well, I mean, we all traveled to the different cons and stuff, but I mean, I've hit a few more comic book stores just in an effort to get them in.
Right.
Is that just because you have more time, or you travel for work?
I travel for work.
Okay.
So just if I'm in Flint for work for the day, I might hit a comic book store on my way home.
Okay. Out of the three of you, do any of you guys do anything related to the media industry?
I mean, I do digital advertising.
Oh, there you go.
So it's not making content, but Google AdWords, display ads, YouTube. That's another thing that we did with our Kickstarter was I ran a lot of digital, a lot of ads there.
Might have to get you on another show and just talk about
Digital marketing, yeah.
digital marketing.
Kyle is phenomenal with the social media aspect of things. He's real good with the Twitter, the Facebook. I think he's done a little bit of Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that shows you how much I'm doing with the social media. But
You keep calling it the Twitter, the social media, the MySpace.
I'm the oldest of the wise men. So.
And that's how it was originally addressed, the Facebook.
That's true.
That was their official name.
I saw the social network.
Yeah.
I have not.
It was all right.
So,
I was part of MySpace and I was part of Open Diary. I don't need to see social networks. I'm good.
Yep.
So, what about the third person? You're supposed to talk him up, I thought.
Yeah, he's my brother. He's not as smart as I am. He's not as handsome as I am. But I mean, he'll do.
Does he have a nice beard like you do?
He does. His is nice and orange.
Video version is way different from the audio version. You need to see these gorgeous beards.
Yes. He's got a feather in his hair. He likes to wear ponchos, but no poncho today. It's a little bit too warm.
Like camo ponchos or like
It's like
cowboy ponchos.
Cowboy poncho. Okay.
Yeah.
Like a rain poncho would be good.
It's his winter coat. He wore it all winter.
All winter long, he wears his ponchos. But in all seriousness, he's a member of the team. He's a member of the Three Wise Men, and I mean, I think we work very well together. And I think if you remove, even though he's not here right now, you remove one of those dynamics, and you're just not getting the same sort of punch. So, he's my brother too, so I love him. And he's Alistair Dillon. Is it better than Space Jam? He's the character. So.
Oh, okay. So you bring some acting to the mix.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, once again, go ahead and promote what the websites are.
Okay, you can see our comic, our YouTube shows, all of what's going on, our updates at the3wisemen.com. That's TheThreeWisemen.com. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/the3wisemen, Twitter and Instagram at the3wisemen. We're at a couple more Comic Cons this year. Monroe Comic Con, Great Lakes, and
which Great Lakes is that? Because I know they have a couple of locations.
I wish I knew.
It's on our website.
It's on our website, yeah, for sure. We have all that information on the
Motor
website.
City Mo's in several comic book stores.
Yep, it's in Big Ben's, it's in Green Brain, it's in Nine Planets, it's in 3 other ones. I'm doing a very
Stadium Collectibles.
Yep, Stadium.
Again, we're sorry. You can see it on the website.
Very poor representation of our supporters right now. I'm sorry.
Yes.
But it's all on our website, and come check us out at a Comic-Con.
Yeah, and then the Motor City Mo Episode 2 Kickstarter, September 30th.
Yes.
So you can get excited about that now. If you haven't read the book, you can buy it on our website. You can buy it at one of the stores. You can buy it at a Comic-Con if you see us there. We're excited about it because if you read book 1, that's sort of like it builds the world. It's definitely its own self-contained story, but episode 2, we're looking forward to sort of delivering on some of the things that book 1 sort of promises. So,
and also new videos every Thursday on our YouTube channel. Every Thursday.
Cool. And on the Toaden K YouTube channel every Monday night. At dvradio.net every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. But I totally suggest, if you're curious about the Veteran Radio Network, just go to dvradio.net and you can listen to it on TuneIn and you can listen to it right on your mobile device. There's a lot of great shows on there, and plus the music they pick, it's everything from country to hard rock. You never know what kind of music there's going to play. I know There's a lot of people that just leave it up all day. There's my promotion for them. I'm Toaden from Toaden.com, and of course MediaLiterSandwich.com. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We do accept sponsors, so if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us either on our Facebook group or email at podcast@MediaLiterSandwich.com. May the algorithms be in your favor.